Well, just 2 inches of snow in Atlanta was enough to turn traffic into a nightmare. Some drivers became stuck in their cars on the interstate for more than 16 hours. Many people are blaming the city for not being prepared for the storm, but the city's mayor says a combination of things led to the crisis. One being schools and government offices shut down at the same time. That led to gridlock with as many as 1 million people on the roads all at the same time. In Atlanta alone, police responded to 940 accidents, 130 injuries, and at least 1 fatality. And some people from the Asheville area became stuck in that traffic. Tonight, they are sharing their harrowing stories. News 13's Kimberly King is live along I-26. And Kim, the Atlanta nightmares is similar to the snowstorm here 4 years ago.
That's right, Megan. The big difference, though, was the fact that we had a lot of snowfall here at that time in a short amount of time. But regardless of the differences, being stranded on the road for hours as night falls would be scary for anyone.
Eastbound's open.
A week before Christmas in 2009, this was the scene on I-26. Emergency workers helping push stranded drivers.
Trying to get them off the interstate, maybe try to find a shelter.
I've been stuck here ever since it just got to where I had to get off the interstate.
Alan Stevens was stuck for hours, the unforgettable storm gripping everyone. A dangerously slow crawl at night, people forced to abandon their cars and walk to shelter.
Go!
The National Guard called out in Asheville to help. Now, locals have found themselves in the middle of Atlanta's gridlocked mess. We spoke by phone with Miriam Matz, who moved from Hendersonville to Atlanta. She described by phone what it was like.
And then it was dark. There were tons of people just obviously sitting next to me, rows and rows of traffic. My phone was almost dead.
She said crews here in North Carolina even did a much better job than in Georgia.
Now, my daughter lives in Hendersonville, and she had been snowed overnight at a friend's house. Had maybe half a mile to go to get home, but the roads had been plowed. There were road crews out there. They had done preventative work on the roads. None of that happened in Atlanta.
While sitting in her car in the mess in Atlanta, Miriam says she got emotional. One thing got her through.
I was actually listening to the local Christian radio station. They did a forceful effort of making the radio station seem incredibly positive. And only people that were calling in were people calling in and talking about the snow heroes and people who were bringing like food and water and things to abandon their stranded motorists.
Vance McGraw of Batcave was driving to Atlanta for business. He redirected after watching the weather and stayed in Macon overnight.
These people down here don't know how to drive it, and I saw a lot of people off in the ditches.
Vance calling his business associates back here in Asheville.
To let them know that I'm not going to be able to get there tomorrow. I'm stuck here. They are completely understanding. They're just glad that I'm in a safe spot. I'm fortunate that I'm not in my car.
Vance has been in communication with his wife here in Asheville. He is looking forward to getting back here. He's going to stay the night in Macon. Marion, meanwhile, was stranded, as we mentioned, for hours. She talked about the power of positive thinking, listening to the radio and positive stories despite all that mess that was going on all around her. A stranger, an act of kindness, walked her 5 miles in the evening to night hours to make sure she got home to her house in Atlanta safely. Reporting live along I-26, Kimberly King, News 13.